Top Shelf.
Hello and welcome to Top Shelf Board Games. I'm Hubba, and today we're going to learn how to play Onitama. Onitama is an abstract strategy game that falls in the lines of chess and Jarl or the Duke. It uses the mechanics that you will find in Jarl or the Duke, where you have two cards that represent your movements, and they show you how your pieces can move. You'll select a movement, do it, and then give that card to your opponent. And you'll go back and forth doing this, trying to get your master into your opponent's temple and or kill your opponent's master or capture your opponent's master. The theme is a dojo with a master and his students going up against your opponent's master and their students. So let's go to the table and learn how to play. All right, this is how to play Onitama. In Onitama, there is two ways to achieve victory. In order to win the game, you need to either get your master into your opponent's temple area, which is right there, or you can also win by defeating your opponent's master. If either of those conditions are met, you win the game. In Onitama, each player has two cards in front of them, and these are the two moves that are available to use for any of your pieces that are currently on the board. Your students, which are these smaller pawns, can use any of these cards as well as your master. The black square on the card indicates where the corresponding piece is at, and then it also shows the lighter colors. Those are the spaces that the piece can move and attack in. To determine who goes first in Onitama, you look at the card over here on the right side, and whatever color the symbol is down in the bottom of the card, that is the color that will be the first player. You'll then put this card to the right of that player. And in this case, blue will be the first player to act. On your turn, you'll choose one of your movements that you want to do. So I could do the monkey movement or the crab movement. I can choose to do the monkey movement. I would then select a piece on the board. I can choose, if I choose this student would be able to move to this diagonal space, be able to move backwards into this diagonal space. I can move this way into this diagonal space, or I can move into this diagonal space and defeat my opponent's student. So I can choose to do that. Once I've done my movement, I'll take the movement that I used, I'll spin the card 180 degrees facing my opponent. I'll then take the card that's over to my right and place it in my play area. And now this is a new movement that I now have available to use. My opponent will then choose one of the cards in front of him and do one of those movements. So the master could do the crane movement and move straight ahead and defeat my student. He would then take the crane, rotate it 180 degrees, take the monkey, which is now a new movement that he can do, and play would come back to me. If at any time on your movement, you always have to move no matter what, even if your movement will kill your guy or kill your master, you always have to take a movement, even if it's going to not be beneficial for you. That's part of the strategy of Onitama, is getting your opponent into those positions where they got to sacrifice their pieces. In Onitama, there's lots of cards to play with. These are you only play with 5 cards each game, but there is a whole stack of cards over here. And each game you'll select 5 different ones to use for each game. So you got the frog, you got the tiger, the mantis, the elephant, the ox, the horse, the dragon, the boar, the rooster, the rabbit, and the eel. Play will continue to go back and forth until either you have defeated your opponent's master, or you've been able to get your master into your opponent's temple area. And that is how you play Onitama.